Hi everyone, this is Joe Llanos, and I am doing my class reflection on the tragedy of the commons. I'll be talking a bit about what it is and giving a relatable example to better help visualize it all. So what is the tragedy of the commons? Well, it's really a simple problem with an elusively difficult solution. There are many aspects that must be considered when thinking through such a situation. Many ethical conflicts come into play, making it a very complicated issue to figure out. The problem begins as follows. Imagine a lake filled with a plentiful amount of fish. Around this lake are communities which utilize it for their food source or for trade. Each person will go out and fish whatever they need for their own purposes. Viewing this from an individual perspective, there seems to be nothing wrong with it. However, with many people fishing from the same lake, the number of fish begins to decrease at a much more rapid rate. There is a point that this rate reaches in which the amount of fish being pulled from the lake is greater than the reproductive rate of the fish. This eventually catches up and will endanger the fish and, if left unchecked, will result in a complete wipe of the population. So why do we care? Other than the extreme imbalance it creates within the current ecosystem and the devastation that is brought by entirely annihilating indigenous species, there is now the fact that there is no more food for the humans. This is obviously an issue, and it has to be prevented long before it becomes a reality. And while it makes sense to say things like educate the people on the issue or put in regulations to limit overfishing, the thing is, this does not eliminate the origin of the problem. Yes, people may know and understand that their actions impact the fish population or that their lake's particular population is endangered and feel empathetic towards it, but that won't change the fact that at the end of the day, this person must feed their family. Regulations may stop most law-abiding citizens for a while from this act, but it won't last forever when this person must provide an income to maintain their minimal lifestyle. There is a breaking point in which people must continue to fish. Because it may be their only source of food or income, this action is essentially unstoppable. To understand this a little better, we can take a look at a situation that's more relevant. I'm from Los Angeles, so I'll use an example from there to show some home pride. It's no secret that there is a drought in the Southwest. Just last year, Governor Jerry Brown declared a state of emergency for water shortage in the state of California. Even more recently, in the past few weeks, more strict regulations have been put in place to help suppress the demand of water on the increasingly insufficient supply. Everyone knows of this problem. It's not hidden from the public at all. Water is known to be the most important thing for our survival. Despite this, our most valuable resource keeps on being drained as if no one had a clue. Much of this stems from the fact that people assume that they do not make a difference. Yes, I understand that urban use of water accounts for a very small percentage of the total water usage for the state, and that agriculture greatly outweighs it all, but this line of reasoning applies to the farmers as well. People think that what they contribute to the overall problem is so minute that it can be easily overlooked. In the grand scheme of it all, this is generally true. However, that sort of group mentality actually has a larger impact than they may realize. As an old instructor of mine once said, if everyone were doing what I'm doing, would it be okay? A deceptively simple question, but think, would it be okay? There are roughly 38.8 million people living in California. The average flow rate for a shower is 2.1 gallons per minute. If each person in the state cut their shower time down by 1 minute, they would save about 81.48 million gallons of water a day. Small steps lead to big results. The tragedy of the commons is a complex issue, there's no doubt in that. The trick is getting people to see it in this light. To see life as a team effort instead of an excuse for self-gain is profound. Giving them the power to believe that their rational decisions can collectively mean so much more than they had thought possible. As Marianne Williamson once said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Thank you for your time.